but no time like the present to talk about all things sports all the time. And we got a bunch to talk about here on the show. What do we eat? We're heading into week 8 of the NFL season, which has been just completely wild all over the map. We've got the start of the NBA season with Victor Wembanyama making his official debut tonight. We could talk that. We got the Major League Baseball playoffs. I got a personal stories to talk about my Arizona Diamondbacks. We'll talk about that here and much, much more. But let's go ahead and get our cast of characters here introduced. First off, Julian. He's a little whiter and a whole lot faster. He's the one and only Donald Edleman. What's up, B?
I don't know. He might be faster than me, but I mean, you know what? It's close.
Is he slick? Is he as slick as you, though?
He's not as tall as me, so I probably got the stride on him.
Yeah, see, you get a couple big footsteps ahead. He ain't nothing to it. Now, somebody else that we got here, my main man, Jamaal Gardner. Jamaal, I know I usually talk smack on you, and we had a history of talking back and forth, but this time I'm going to bypass because I know you've been. Yeah, well, we don't need to reveal it, but I hope you're doing well, my man. I hope everybody's doing well.
Hey, appreciate it. She just got home today.
I'm glad. That is music to my ears. I've been keeping you guys in my thoughts, and as everybody else has your prayers, and I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome news. That is fantastic.
Appreciate that, Bob.
No problem. Anytime. But that is the one and only Jamaal Gardner, the other UT fan. Yeah, I didn't think I could get away without saying something here sooner rather than later. We can't be status quo. But Jamaal, my dude, we also got Joe. What the fuck is your name? Mike Tirico Licks. Wrinkly. No. Oh, I don't know what Mike Tirico does in his free time, but we do know Joe Violet comes on here and lays the smack down and keeps us crazy bastards in line. Joe, what's going on, my brother?
Joe Perp.
Not much. Just trying to call it straighter than a Mike Tirico commentary.
Joe Perp.
Where's the asterisk, Mike? I'm still waiting for it. Where's the asterisk?
And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about this mofo last. I'm just telling you this, in what is it, April, AJ? We're going to be taking West Virginia by storm, man. My tag team partner, the man, the myth, AJ Mofo Street. What is up, my brother?
Man, it's great to be back on the radio with you guys, man. It's really great. Missed y'all.
Yeah, you probably heard you're back on with me and said, fuck that guy. I mean, you don't got to bullshit me, man. I was on the sidelines of the Buccaneers game, and I heard a lot of bullshit this weekend, so I had to feign liking the Buccaneers because they were paying me, so you don't got to bullshit me.
Are you sitting next to Aaron Rodgers?
No, I was sitting across from Dave Batista, though.
Hey, I was waiting for them to throw down. I was waiting for them to throw down like they did at that Cowboys-Chargers game so I could come down there and me and you can hook up and show them what a real fight's about, you know?
That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Hey, April 12th, we'll show them what's up. And I'm speaking of Buccaneers, Captain Kennedy, I know you're listening to this as you sit in that cesspool boat in that shithole Ohio. You all saw what I did to his ass last time we got in the ring, AJ. You saw that shit, right? Joe, you saw what I did to his ass last time he decided to piss me off and I got in the ring with him, right? Y'all saw that. Y'all saw it. It's all over Facebook.
He ran with his tail tucked in between his legs.
Well, I gave him a little bit of... Go ahead, AJ. What's up?
You tell him to bring a partner. You got your partner now. We'll take him to church.
That's it. We'll baptize the Buccaneer. He went tuck tail because I sent him flying more than a Ray Finkel kick through the uprights. And you all know what I'm talking about. By the way, I am the guy who actually did fuck Britney Spears in them books. It's JP. Let's talk some sports, Donald. I've hit my introduction. Let's lead us off by things that we're going to talk about here tonight. What's topic number one, my dude?
Okay, topic number one. We're going to go into the thing that's hot and fresh on everybody's mind. We're going to go to the beginning of the NBA season here. A couple of off-season moves here, just like pretty noteworthy ones. Obviously, the big one's probably Damian Lillard to the Bucks. That's depressing, sad, makes me want to puke. Just a lot of stuff. I don't know. I don't like the Bucks. It's a whole thing.
Damian Lillard with Giannis is a scary combination.
They just re-signed Giannis to a 3-year deal too, didn't they? So I mean, it's if you're not a Milwaukee fan this year, it's going to suck. The next 3 are going to suck, but then it's going to fall off. So yeah. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Another move that kind of went under the radar, but well, for most people, probably went under the radar, but not for us, damn it. Drew Holiday to the Celtics. I think that move means a lot more than a lot of people think. Drew Holiday's very good, and now that they have a point guard who even was their point guard last year, I genuinely don't know.
I think it was Marcus Smart and Brogdon, I think. Don't quote me to that.
Okay, yeah, I think so. And then also that white guy, Peyton Pritchard. Is that Pritchard?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Well, if you're a white guy named Peyton, you're probably you're different, dishing out a different kind of ball, and it ain't on the basketball court. You know.
So So, but I think that'll make a Drew Holiday. I think is definitely better than all three of them. Chris Paul to the Warriors. That's a weird one. I don't know how I feel about that.
You're forgetting a big one here. Bradley Beal to my motherfucking Phoenix Suns, dude.
Yes,
that's like,
I was getting to it. And Yusuf Nurkic to the Suns as well.
Yeah, Ayton to the Trailblazers. I mean, it's wild. And then we got the French freak, Victor Wembanyama, making his NBA debut. Donald, supposedly the biggest prospect to hit the league since LeBron James. I want to talk about that after we break down all these trades, though, and who's going to benefit the most. But one thing you said, though, Drew Holiday, I love that deal for Boston because he's not a flashy player, and that's the thing. He is not a flashy guy who's going to put up, 40 points and 20 rebounds or 20 assists, but he does everything right. And most of all, he is that gritty, gutty defenseman. I mean, he's a very ego-free guy, and I think that'll make things great for Boston, especially distributing the rock to Tatum and Brown. And now they also picked up, the white boy who used to play for Dallas and the Knicks. Fill in my blanks here. Italian.
Porzingis. Yeah, Kristaps Porzingis. He's Latvian, by the way.
Latvian. Yeah. I'm thinking Lucas. You picked up Porzingis, so that team's going to be pretty dangerous, man.
Yeah, I think Porzingis is better than, what we saw last year. I mean, he's been off and on injured. I think he's fully healthy. Preseason, he looked pretty good. So
yeah, I'd be injured too if I played for watching him.
Yeah, right. Me too. I'd be injured with some girl named Monica in an office space. So never mind.
But
I did not inhale.
Oh, she inhaled all right.
Okay. Listen.
That was one big cigar.
She'd be coughing on. We're spiraling out of control here. I won't say no more because I think Donald's like ready to reel me in. And yeah, enough bullshit, right?
Okay, so we're gonna go through. First off, which one of those moves do you think what offseason move do you think has been the most impactful? That's going to be the most impactful for a team.
I think it's Porzingis on the Celtics.
I think that's the long-term most impactful. Short-term, got to go with the Bucks, with Lillard to the Bucks.
Yeah.
I think
I think short-term wise on that, however. As JP said, for 3 years, the Bucks are going to be something fierce to contend with. Beyond that, I'd be looking more at the Celtics.
No, the Celtics, I pay attention to them. Go ahead.
Was it me or was it was Jamaal, right? Let's go, Jamaal.
Yeah, I'm kind of more on the Celtics because, really, you only really had to pay attention to Tatum and Brown. And yeah, a little point guard play from Marcus Smart. He can give you a couple buckets, and Drew Holiday can give you buckets too. But they really needed a post score. And not to mention, he can go outside and inside because, Celtics bigs, all they did really was just pick and roll and just go to the basket. That was it. They were it was all blueprint Kendrick Perkins type players. That was it. And all of a sudden, you got a Swiss Army knife, a unicorn right there. I think that's very underrated. So I'm going with the Celtics.
There's one thing that is I'm not going for one specific move, but as a whole for a team, one team we haven't talked about yet that got significantly better in just about every way, the Los Angeles Lakers, man. They got Gabe Vincent, point guard from Miami. He's not their starting point guard because they still start D'Lo, but then they got Torian Prince, knockdown corner shooter. He's going to be open every time with LeBron and AD in there in that paint. He's going to be so open, and he's going to knock down those threes, and he's going to play good defense. And also, they got two guys who can spell Anthony Davis. So Anthony Davis doesn't have to be out there every minute of the game for them to do anything. They got Christian Wood, who can still score, just as good as almost any big man in the league, maybe besides Anthony Davis and a couple other guys, but. And then they got Jackson Hayes, who can be in there, athleticism, defense, run the floor with LeBron and stuff. I mean, there's going to be 2 or 3 posters by Jackson Hayes where LeBron throws it up to him this year. I guarantee it.
Well, I'll tell you one team that I like the postseason of a lot that nobody else will probably take this approach because they're getting hammered. But if we're talking long term, man, I love what the Portland Trailblazers did. I love it. I mean, drafting Scoot Henderson, and you're trading Damian Lillard. That's not going to be easy. You're trading probably the best player in franchise history, and I'm not using hyperbole with that. But they didn't buck, and there was a lot of pressure to trade him to Miami because that's where he wants to go. And that's one thing I want to bring up, gentlemen, is that, their general manager, Joe Cronin, took a beating. Oh, he owed it to Dame to trade him to where he wanted to go. No, he don't owe Dame nothing. the Portland Trailblazers paid him a very nice living, and he did a lot for them too. I mean, it was a mutual thing. Both benefited greatly from each other. But Joe Cronin's job was to get the best package he possibly could. And if you look at all the pieces they got, okay, I'm not crazy about DeAndre Ayton at times, but I think getting out of Phoenix was the best thing that happened to him. And then they get Robert Williams, where Ayton is the big offensive guy. Williams is a stud defensively. I mean, if you look at all the byproduct pieces, they get those two. They get 4, 5, 6 first-round picks. I mean, that's a pretty impressive haul for a guy that didn't want to be there anymore. And now they're moving on with Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp. I mean, I think that was a pretty impressive postseason. That's a team I think you're going to pay attention to probably 5 years from now. But when they hit, they're going to be good. They're going to be real good.
Yeah. Brought to you by the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. Okay. So we got some end of season awards in the NBA. So we're just going to go through them and tell you the viewers who we think at the end of the year is going to end up winning these awards. We're going to start out here with the big one. Who do you think at the end of the year is going to be hoisting the MVP trophy? I'll tell you mine first. I got Luka Doncic. I think without Kristaps there and with some of the other pieces they've brought in, I think he's going to he's like number one by a million in Dallas right now. And he had a whole offseason to get healthy and everything. And his whole team's going to be healthy. He has shooters around him. I think watch out for Dallas in the West, anyways. But I think Luka will be making some noise though. Towards the end of the season, people are going to really start realizing how good of a season he's had.
I'll throw one at you guys. Could he do back to back? Possibly. Joel Embiid. I mean, especially with the nonsense going on with Harden, if he can keep that team even remotely competitive with that going on, he's got something. But man, if you're looking at the DraftKings odds, I got to go along with that, man. Giannis, the Greek freak. Him and Dame, that's going to be a dangerous team that could win 65, 70 games. And Giannis, he's my dude.
Yeah.
He's my
I was between Luka, Jokic, and Embiid or Giannis. So
I'm with JP on that one. I got to go with Giannis. I mean, he's one of those, in my opinion, one of those once in a generation talents that just keeps getting better and better.
Listen, if Giannis gets a jumper, I mean, everybody else just might as well not show up. So
automatic.
He gets a jumper, there's no point in even playing the game.
How much does he physically dominate those and on the court ahead of him? And you get that jumper, forget it. Like you said, he's still got about 8 years to get it. I mean, that's scary to think what he could still add to his arsenal, considering how damn good he is now.
I'm going to echo Donald on that. I'm going to say Luka as well. I mean, I've just watched the Mavericks, just put Wembayama out tonight, and Luka with a triple-double tonight. It's opening night with a triple-double, and without having to have Porzingis on the team and where he can actually, it's his team now. I think he's really going to have his time to shine this year.
Like father, like son, I'm going emo Jimmy. That's what I'm doing. Emo
Jimmy
Jimmy.
Buckets. Jimmy Buckets.
Emo Jimmy, not Jimmy Butler. Emo. I'm talking about with the emo hair.
Okay.
That's what I want. Emo hair. Nah, I'm messing with you. He ain't gonna be MVP. But that'll be dope if he was though. I think Joker feels like he's disrespected.
You and Jokic?
I think he feels disrespected. I feel like he should have won. He feels like he should have won last year, and everybody's poo-pooing on his championship because they be the 8 seed or whatever. Even though he rather be horse racing and all that stuff, whatever. Joker just quietly, just efficient, just balling.
Oh man, I got to tell you, you brought up a good point too, and I think this is going to piss him off even more because when's the last time we saw a defending NBA champion, a winning team, get this little press? You wouldn't even thought the Nuggets won the NBA title. How everybody else is talking. Like we've talked about the Suns, the Bucks, the damn, Victor Wembanyama in San Antonio, Dallas. We're not even Denver, the defending champs. They're almost an afterthought, and they didn't win based off a fluke. I mean, they were the best team in the NBA from start to finish last year, most consistent anyway. So if he takes that and puts it as motivation, look, I don't want to win one. I want to win 3 or 4. And by the way, don't talk about me. I'll just keep kicking you in the rear end on my way up. That's a good point.
But the NBA is just money, fuel money, for sources. So yeah, he'd be like this. He's like, I do it for them.
Okay. Moving on to the next award. We've got the Defensive Player of the Year. Tell me which one who wants to go first? One of you guys tell me what you think.
I want to go lazy here and pick Rudy Gobert, but he has looked just awful in Minnesota. I mean, I don't know if it looks awful, Donald, but I think that's just that fit's not good for him.
I'll tell you, he's looked awful. I don't like Rudy Gobert because I think he's not very good. But
yeah, I'm trying not to go that avenue too. I agree with you. I think he's a modern day Ben Wallace, but not as. Ben Wallace had that I'm going to kill you mentality on the court. You're not going to beat us. Rudy.
I feel like Ben Wallace, though, I feel like could also play like almost more perimeter defense. Rudy is not like that. Rudy's like, stand in the paint. You come in the paint. I'm going to block your shit. And if you throw a lob to me, I'll dunk it. And that's it.
Exactly.
But
I'm going to throw a wild one at you. OG Anunoby. How do you say the guy's last name?
OG Anunoby. Yeah.
Yeah, Anunoby. I can beat him because people don't realize how damn good he is defensively. Yeah. Like
I like that pick. That's a sneaky pick. I like that, but I don't know. I feel like Depoy is usually like the biggest name that has had a decent defensive season. I don't know. So I picked for that reason. I picked Embiid or Anthony Davis. I couldn't pick between which one I thought. If Anthony Davis stays healthy, there's no reason why Anthony Davis shouldn't win it because I think he could definitely be that. But that's also implying that he stays healthy, which he doesn't seem able to do. So.
That's who I went with. Donald was Anthony Davis. I mean, even if he's not healthy, he's still a force in the paint.
I mean, even when they were playing the Nuggets last night, and AD, I mean, he had a shitty second half. His second half was really bad. He scored, I don't know if he scored a single point in the second half, but he ended up with 5 blocks, I think, and a steal or 2. Just, happenstance. Needed more rebounds. I got out-rebounded really bad. But, yeah, Anthony Davis has every ability to do that. So
I think Adebayo on my pick.
Bam.
I think after last year, how the Heat was the Heat was red hot in the playoffs. But Bam was not Bam Adebayo that we had prior to last season, and I think he put the work in over the summer. And besides Emo Jimmy, I think Bam's the second on the team. I think he's going to step it up really good this year and be the defensive monster that he was.
All right.
I think like the game of the NBA today is played more on the perimeter. And I think the last time I checked, the last one was a guard. I think he plays in Memphis right now. So my smart pick will be Marcus Smart.
Okay. I thought that's where you were going with it, but Marcus Smart. Okay. Nobody's talked about the Grizzlies, by the way. But when John Morant gets
Guns N' Roses, let's go, baby.
Guns N' Roses. Baby. No one said anything about the Grizzlies yet. But when John Morant gets back, if the Grizzlies are in a playoff race to where they make the playoffs and come the playoffs, John Morant and the Grizzlies are hitting peak form. By the way, another sleeper for Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson, man. Jaren Jackson Jr.
Dude, he's so damn good. Yeah. He's so underrated.
Yeah.
Jaren Jackson Jr. led the league in block shots, by the way, last year.
They got 2 Defensive Player of the Year.
Wait, did he win it last year? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, he won it last year.
Okay.
The year before.
The defending.
I got it mixed up. Yeah, there's 2 Defensive Player of the Year on the same squad. Crazy.
But Jaren Jackson, he's only going to get better too. Jaren Jackson's still very young.
Yeah.
Okay, we're moving on to this is there's a lot of options with this one. 6th man of the year, and this is also, by the way, we're assuming these people are going to come off the bench enough, but like starting right now, people who come off the bench is what I was going off of. So I had 2 people in mind. I couldn't pick which one I thought was going to be the top, but I chose either Tyler Hero or Rui Hachimura.
I like that Rui pick. That's
assuming Rui Hachimura comes off the bench for most of the season because they started Taurean Prince last night. But
yeah, I like that.
Okay, yeah, we just all agree because I don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Mystics, man.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
What about Chris Paul, Golden State? What about Chris Paul?
I'm going with John Morant because he's going to be coming off the bench.
No, it's Derrick Rose, baby. Derrick Rose,
I'm playing. I agree with.
Well, he's going to be on the bench, but he's not going to be coming off of it for a while.
I seen what Obi Toppin did in preseason, and I seen what Obi Toppin did tonight, and he didn't get that chance in New York. So I think coming off the bench, he's going to be really good for the Pacers.
Okay.
I like him. I'm going to throw one out there for you. I'm going to throw Chris Paul.
Yeah. I forgot he wouldn't actually start, but yeah.
He's coming off the bench?
Yeah. With
wow.
Curry and Thompson.
Yeah.
six man off the bench. I mean, think about it. He's adding probably, but the guy is a natural born leader and he's on the best team, one of the best teams in the NBA. I mean, I could see him sneaking up on people this year.
Yeah. Okay.
Very possible. Yeah.
Did I get picks from everybody there? Everybody gave me a pick, or okay. That one had a lot of good names in there. That was a lot more names than I thought. Okay, this one there's not as much parity with this one, but there's probably a few options. Rookie of the year. There's an obvious choice here.
This is gonna be fun. There's an
obvious choice here, and I went with Wembanyama. But
that's who I was going with.
But
all right, somebody has somebody else. Yeah,
I'll be that contrarian bastard. I'm gonna say Scoot Henderson, man.
I was thinking about going Scoot, but I went with Wembanyama though.
It is obvious. You're right, but I mean, can I say that I think they're putting way too much pressure on this guy before he's ever really showed what he's capable of?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're talking about him as like the next LeBron, like the best to hit the draft since LeBron. Let's let the kid play a few games first. Let's see what he does here. And don't take this the wrong way. I'm not trying to sound nationalistic, but let's see what he does in the National Basketball Association, because what you do over, in France and in, Europe, I can name you 1,000 players that look like $1 million in Europe that stung to bed here in the United States. Dragan Bender. I mean, I could go on, and I'm not saying Wembanyama is anything like that. He is unlike anything we've never, ever seen, but let's.
Yao Ming comes to mind.
What's that?
I said Yao Ming comes to mind.
Yao Ming was good though. Yao Ming was really good, but
he got hurt.
Ming was really good, yeah. But like you said, Jamaal I think said he was the victim of injury.
Ming Yao.
All right,
there was another Chinese player. What was it? Yao Yi
Jianlian.
Yeah.
He was.
Hey, what about I can't think of his name because like you brought it up in the other Zoom call. He's on OKC.
Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
I think Chet has definitely a possibility. Chet's really good. And he's already been in the league technically a year, but
No. Ben Simmons did that and Joel.
No, I know. I'm saying that gives him an advantage because he's already.
Okay.
I know he's eligible for it, and I think he could win it. But I'm saying like that extra year, like what Ben Simmons had, could be advantage to him.
My bad. My apology.
I watched a guy tonight play against Wembanyama. Derek Lively on the Mavericks. I mean, he pulled a double-double tonight, 16 points, 10 rebounds.
Okay.
Did a lot tonight for Dallas, and they put the numbers right next to each other, Wembanyama and him. And his numbers, even playing less minutes than Wembanyama did, he put up new numbers. And, I mean, just watching him, he's got a lot of potential. Chet, I said earlier, but I really don't think it's going to be Wembanyama, and I'm with JP. The night that he got drafted, I was just blasting the dude, saying that he's got so much hype because the game is different overseas than it is here in the United States. It's a whole different ball game, and he's not going to have that freedom like he did here. I mean, he brings it into the paint with a certain. They're going to knock him on his ass.
Here's the sleeper picks here too. Sleeper picks. They each had a season in the G League. The Thompson twins, one of the Thompson twins.
Oh yeah.
Eamon or Acer. Is that how you say them? Eamon and Acer. Acer, I believe, plays for the Pistons, right? Is it Acer? I can't even remember. I think it's Acer.
Acer, yeah.
He plays for the Pistons, and in the preseason, he looked all right. We'll move on to. We'll leave all the finals stuff for the very end for the final because Coach of the year. Who do you think they're going to give that to? I gave mine to one Michael Malone of the Denver Nuggets.
A good one.
I thought about him or Darvin Ham, but I went Michael Malone.
Frank Vogel in Phoenix.
That's a good one too.
Oh, I like it.
I think it's Jason Kidd. I think the Mavericks are going to do some great things this year.
Is the Pelicans coach Willie Green?
Yeah.
I think the Pelicans, like Zion coming back, they're going to be dangerous. I think they're going to be like the most improved team or something like that. Yeah, they're going to be dangerous because they played without him the whole year. Now they got him. Oh yeah.
Pelicans are going to be pretty all right. Zion coming back fully healthy. BI, Josh Hart. I mean, It's a good
Yeah,
team.
because Zion's got to provide child support payments. So yeah, he's gonna be motivated.
CJ McCollum. On that team
Yep,
as well.
and Ingram. Yeah,
Dyson Daniels, that point guard who I think is going to take steps forward this year. Dyson Daniels, he's something. But I just want you guys know with New Orleans how much of that tank falls off of Zion's health, because look, we all know he's a stud. When he's on the court, he's one of the best players in the league. But injuries have been his Achilles heel so far.
Yeah, I know one thing ain't injured, because it seems like that's been in peak form.
Oh, yeah.
That man is ready.
You got a pick for me, Joe?
Hey, at the very least, we know he's going to stay in the paint because he can't pull out.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
No, man.
Okay, Joe, give me a pick so we can move on from this now. Okay.
The girl can tries. His one adult entertainer that he balls when he does.
For coach of the year?
Yes.
Jason Kidd.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad he's strong, so that way he can get and one.
Okay.
Man, I thought I was supposed. All this time I thought I was supposed to be the loose cannon of this show, man. I'm rubbing off.
You think this man shops at Walmart for his shoes and one shoes? Come on, man. Next thing you know, he's gonna be buying those Shaq shoes that were like $10.
So at the end of the year,
he got with the big easy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He got with a few big.
At the end of the year, what's the over under on Zion having more kids than Nick Cannon?
Under.
I'm taking the under because that is a very high bar to hit.
Under. Yeah, God, man.
My question is he going to play over 20 games this year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, apparently he's playing a bunch of games there. He's playing a bunch of games elsewhere, but you know.
Okay.
Now, that's actually a serious question.
Let's go. We got 5 minutes left of this, so let's go through. We'll leave the awards that we're going to have for the finals. So the finals champion, the finals matchup, and the final MVP. So we'll go on to our last category before we move on to those. Most improved. Now, technically, the most improved award goes to a player, but I wrote down a team and then a player who I think will be the most improved on that team. So mine's a little spicy. So I'll let somebody else kick it off, and I'll end it with the spice.
Okay, I'll say most improved is Jordan Poole.
I like it. And he's really good too. So you think he's gonna be like all-star level or like?
Oh, he's about to go off. Like he already had like 41 in a preseason game or something like that.
Him and Kuz, that's gonna be a stupid matchup.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like he doesn't have to worry about Draymond anymore, and then like who else is on the Wizards that you know? I mean, besides like the normal fan wouldn't know who's on the Wizards right now.
Anybody else on the Wizards, by the way, if you want the ball, just get it off the rebound, because Jordan Poole and Kuzma, they're not passing. They're not passing.
They're about to fire it up, and I mean, like Jordan Poole is about to go. He's about to do what even Kevin Garnett said. He's about to do what James Harden did whenever he went to the Rockets.
Jordan Poole's about to shoot 20, 30 times a game. Promise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's about to go off.
I believe my pick. I believe he'll be tired of coming off the bench because he's been making some waves in the past couple of seasons. I'm talking about Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
Hey.
I think with all the hype that he's been getting, all the accolades he's been getting, you know, I think that this will be his year to shine.
That's a sneaky pick there. I like that, Joe.
I'm going with Obi again. I mean, Obi got out of New York left him on the bench. I mean, I've been high on him since, he won the slam dunk contest. I'm like, all right, well, who's this dude? Seeing him in preseason and seeing what it's like when Jalen Smith got out of Phoenix and went to Indiana, his play just got a lot better. And I look at Obi Toppin being the most improved because, I mean, he can do amazing things. And
all right, JP, give me yours, brother.
They're talking team or players? Team?
Either one. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm going to say team-wise, I'm going to say Dallas everybody's up on the Dallas wagon. I got to go along with it, man. I think I think it was AJ that brought up Derek Lively. I think he's going to be that center that they've needed, that bruiser. We know what Luka can do, and I know he's got that bag coming to him. So I think Dallas is going to be the most improved team, most improved player. Dyson Daniels of New Orleans, really good handles, really quick, good ball distribution skills. And no, that's not a knock on Zion. That's no Zion jokes told there, but I think he's a pretty solid player. I think PB is going to take steps forward this year.
Okay, mine is a bit of a homer pick, but listen, I genuinely believe this. All right.
Cade Cunningham.
No. Well, I didn't pick Cade, but I did pick the Pistons to be more improved because one, they can't be much worse than they were. Okay. Two, we got Monty Williams as our coach now, and he's a very good coach, Monty Williams. Led the Suns for a few years to playoffs. Monty Williams, pretty good. But person I picked, he's been going off in the preseason, Marvin Bagley. Marvin Bagley is very good. I think people have forgot how good Marvin Bagley is. He's been hurt, couldn't stay healthy, but Marvin Bagley was first overall pick, right? So
he was like first or third or something like that.
He was in that draft with Luka and Ayton. Yeah, he was like 2. I think he was between like Luka. He was 2. He was between like Ayton got taken 1, and then Bagley was 2. Oh yeah.
How much time we got?
Like 30 seconds.
All right, what do y'all think about Orlando?
I like Orlando. They're gonna be better.
Paulo Franz, the kid that
Pablo,
Wendell Carter, Jonathan Isaac.
Yep, if he can stay healthy. Dude from Sixers, Markel Fultz.
Welcome back to the show. We're on to session number 2 of the show. Left on a bit of a cutoff there. Kind of misjudged. I said 30 seconds. I mean, shit, it was more like 15. Let's be honest. But whatever. We all think
we forgive you, Donald. It's at Marshall County Education.
Fair.
Hey, that's my line.
Fair.
I rest my case.
Fair. But the Magic, we were talking in between the recordings that Eastern Conference, there's probably 5 teams that are probably a shoe-in to make it. But then after that, now that the playoffs are pretty much 10 teams instead of 8, because you got to get in the play-in and stuff, there's probably, that the fight for those last 5 spots are going to be crazy in the Eastern Conference. It's going to be, you got to think the 5 teams that are pretty safely in would be the Bucks, the Celtics, the Sixers, if James Harden is there and healthy, the Knicks, and probably the Heat. That's probably the 5 best in the East.
What about the Cavs?
I mean, the Cavaliers are one injury away from teetering anywhere from top 2 or 3 to down to 8. So, but the Cavaliers, though, they're the stronger of the rest of the bunch too, for sure. But then there's teams, like the Magic and the Nets, who have Ben Simmons, and then there's like Pacers, who are getting some pieces back because there were some guys injured last year. The Pistons, who are going to be much improved. The Bulls, no one's talking about the Bulls either, but I think the Bulls are going to be better.
I don't.
They should be.
I don't, man. After watching them lose to the Thunder tonight, they are a ticking time bomb away from like self-destructing. That team, if you watch the chemistry, they do not have nobody wants to be there. Vucevic, he does not want to be there. Zach LaVine, his enthusiasm is not there. That team is just one bad thing happening for self-imploding.
I mean, that's been the Bulls for the last, 15 years now, probably. So
because they try to teeter as being a playoff team, and they have this false conception of what they are, and they'll sit there and they'll put Band-Aids on a surgical repair and think that, listen, we're fine with getting by as a 7 or 8 seed, but realistically, they should just blow it up and start over. Because this is, like AJ said, this is a team that doesn't have any chemistry. This is a team that has a bunch of guys that don't want to be there. So why fight for a 1 seed? Why fight for a 7 or 8 seeder to play in so you get beat? I mean, it's false hope.
I mean, they've been shopping Zach LaVine for the past 2 years and not been able to move him. And it's obvious, him and DeRozan, they do not mesh. That first year they were together when Lonzo was healthy, they did all right. But after that, they have just fell apart. And it's just, how many times can you kick the tires before, you got to change them?
The sinking ship.
Man, Lonzo, such an underrated player.
I think Lonzo was one of the things that really held that team together because he would be like, making sure everybody got theirs, no one to get too high or get too low. He would just always be the person in the middle. But Lonzo always got hate because how inconsistent his 3-pointers were. But, you can always rely on Lonzo to be a distributor and play defense and stuff and have good point guards. But
hold on. I'll tell you about Lonzo. What it was is that everybody tried to change his shot whenever his shot was falling in college. But everybody wanted to try to change his shot because it wasn't pretty enough. Let the dude shoot how he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some broke jumpers in the NBA, but if it goes in, I mean, who cares?
Yeah, Reggie Miller, his shot looks punky than a mug, and he's second all time?
Third.
I mean third. Behind Ray Allen, and I forgot. Yeah, because
he was first, and then second, then third. Yeah, eventually probably be lower than that. But okay, we're getting into our the rest of our superlatives. Who do you guys think will make the finals? So I need an East representative and a West representative.
Denver. Milwaukee.
Denver and Milwaukee.
You took the words right out of my mouth, JP. Nuggets, Bucks.
That's very similar to what I put.
And I say, I'm sorry, I was going to say Bucks in 6.
Oh, okay. I put Bucks. I put Bucks or Celtics in the East because I couldn't really decide. I need to watch like a Celtics game from the beginning to end to really, and I guess a Bucks game. I haven't seen either one of them yet, obviously this season, but I want to sit down and watch them before I decide who I think is better. But I think those are the two clear-cut best teams in the East. And then the West is a lot more open, but I picked the Nuggets or just by sheer willpower and the fate of the universe, the Lakers getting there again.
Oh, you picked the final. You picked the final 4 for.
No, I mean I picked 2, but I just my final one is Bucks Nuggets, but I just threw some teams in there that I thought. I think it'll be the Bucks Nuggets, but I wouldn't be shocked also if the Celtics or the Lakers find their way in there somehow too.
I think it's going to be – I watched Celtics a little bit tonight, and Porzingis, he had 30 tonight, and he did really good for Boston. They handled him. But I think it's going to be – honestly, I think it's going to be a rematch of 2 years ago. We haven't got to really see what Bradley Beal can do with Phoenix.
Yes, there we go right there. There we go. Finally. We're in agreement.
I think it's going to be a rematch of 2 years ago. I think it's going to be Milwaukee and Phoenix again because I think Phoenix got the missing piece.
I'm the biggest Sun. I love the Suns. That I spent 15 years out in Phoenix. I got an affinity. Who's going to play point? So there's too many problems.
Okay. I actually got the rematch of the 1976 NBA Finals and one of the greatest games in NBA history. I got Celtics Suns. That's what I got.
I think the Suns, I think their chemistry is there. They did struggle a little bit last night, which I don't like Drew Eubanks. I have my own opinions. I'm a Bol fan. I think Bol should be playing behind Nurkic. But, just seeing what they have there. I like Bradley Beal. I liked him whenever, he was in Washington. I think they get some games under their belt and they get that chemistry flowing. I love Vogel. What he can do as a coach, and I think he could turn Phoenix around. It might take him a little bit, but I think they're going to be the sleeper team to make it back in the finals in the West.
I can't wait to see Frank the Suns versus the Lakers so Vogel get his revenge back because he was a scapegoat for them sucking.
I agree.
He never should have got fired. Okay.
That's LeBron, man.
He's got that effect.
All right.
So with those teams that you guys have chose, who do you guys have coming out on top of those matchups?
Celtic.
Bucks.
I've got the Bucks.
I got the Bucks.
That starting lineup for the Bucks is just so cheese. It's insane. Literally Lillard, Chris Middleton, Splash Mountain, Giannis. And just throw somebody else on the floor at that point, like Pat Connaughton. I mean, does it matter? Throw a shooter out there. I mean, ideally, you want somebody who can shoot threes out there.
Honestly, you could probably throw any one of us in this on this show out there, and they'd probably still win.
Hey, I mean, put me in the corner. I guarantee I hit a couple threes for him. Promise.
Yes,
Promise.
yes. Put baby in the corner.
Put me in the corner. On God, Giannis and Lillard, one of them will find me, and they might throw it so hard they might break my finger or something, and I might get my shit stuffed once in a while. But I'm letting that thing go though. You better believe I'm letting that thing go. And on God, I make like one a game. If I shoot 4, on God, one goes in. Promise.
All I'm saying is Drew Holiday knows them Bucks inside and out. He knows them. Now, don't get me wrong. He don't know. I mean, he don't know Dame like that, or does he? Weren't they like? No, they weren't teammates. Drew Holiday was on the. Hold on, let me think. Like Drew knows that he's been in the league a long time. He knows Damian Lillard and everything. But I'm just saying though, Celtics now you got to respect them in the post now. It ain't just Jaylen Brown and them. Not to admit, fam, like.
I mean, granted, you do have to respect Porzingis in the post because, you know, if...
And Al Horford, too?
Oh, yeah, Big Al.
Bam! Come on now.
Okay, to be fair, that starting lineup is crazy. If they start Al Horford and Porzingis, which they should, by the way, that is crazy. If they play Porzingis at the position he wants, because Porzingis wants to be a power forward. He doesn't want to be a center. He would prefer to play power forward. So you have a 7'4" power forward out there and a 6'11", 7-foot center, and they all 5 of them on the court can all interchange and shoot threes. And all of them. By the way, Horford and Porzingis for big men, they're good passers for being big men. They can get a post touch, and they see Drew Holiday or Tatum or Jaylen Brown. If a second guy comes, they're kicking it, and that guy's going to be wide open. He's going to knock down the 3, and you don't even have to worry about the defense. Don't even worry about the defense.
Yep.
Celtics are going to be nasty.
Celtics, baby.
Celtics are going to be nasty. They're going to be fun to watch, too. I think that's going to be a really entertaining team to watch. Okay, so Finals MVP. So who do you think has the biggest effect on the Finals winning team?
The Greek Freak, Giannis.
I picked Giannis, but I could see them giving it to Lillard. I could see there being a couple close games. Lillard hits a big shot late, something like that. That's what Lillard does. I mean, Dame time is going to be a late shot. He's going to knock it down. One of the most clutch players I've ever seen. I mean, there's only a few more players I think I'd taken the clutch over Dame, taking that last shot.
I got Porzingis. My bad. Sorry about that.
You good?
You got Porzingis as your Finals MVP, and that's bold.
Hey, did Andre Iguodala get one?
That's true. I mean, to be fair, if it does end up being like Bucks Nuggets or something, and Porzingis is guarding Jokic, I mean that's good. I mean, he deserves it if he can slow down Jokic and then also get like 20 points, 10 rebounds, and like 2 or 3 blocks. I mean, maybe he deserves it. I mean,
yeah, but I got Celtic Suns, and I don't know who the Suns are going to pump Porzingis.
I mean, KD probably. KD's going to play power forward.
Nah, man, he'll be playing small forward. I don't see him being a 4. Nurkic probably.
So they play Nurkic on Porzingis because Porzingis is going to cook his ass. If they put Nurkic on Porzingis, that's trouble. That's why they need to put KD on him.
Yeah, but you probably put KD on Tatum, wouldn't you?
Tatum or Brown, yeah.
Oof, I mean, who's the big man for? I mean, it's Nurkic, KD, Bradley Beal, Booker. I mean,
I'm looking at the matchup. Porzingis cooking somebody. As long as it's not Jokic or Antetokounmpo, if they're playing the Suns, Porzingis is going to come out on top.
I mean, he's shooting over anybody. I mean, he's shooting over KD, and KD's 7 foot with like a 7'8" wingspan. Porzingis tops that, guaranteed. I've stood next to Porzingis. This man's every bit of 7'4" easily. He clears that. Only person that made Porzingis look small was Boban, though. Boban is a very large human.
Yeah, I think on my pick, I think it's going to be Giannis because we don't know what Lillard we're getting. I mean, you have to think this is Giannis's team, and there's been a lot of times that star players have come into other star players' team, and they're not the same player as they were before. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get Dame time because how many touches is he going to get compared to how many touches Giannis is going to get. It just all depends. But I think because it's Giannis's team and Giannis has already established himself, I think Giannis will get MVP.
Yeah, I picked Giannis, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it to Dame or somebody. But I think it'd be Giannis though. I mean, I think he would end up at the end of the day having average 30 points and 10 rebounds, couple blocks, and try and run the show and be the star that we know he is. I mean, he's won a final MVP already, so against the Suns. So, but that's anything else you guys want to say about the NBA? Any teams to look out for or any players to look out for in particular? Maybe not somebody who's going to be most improved, but someone who people might not be thinking about.
Oklahoma.
OKC.
Always got to watch out for the Thunder.
Yeah, I'm curious what a healthy Kawhi, Paul George, and Westbrook would look like.
Russell looked really good tonight. By the way, I saw some of that, and Russell Westbrook looked pretty good. I saw a stat where he was on pace to have 6,821 dunks or something like that. If he did that many dunks in the rest of every game for the rest of the season. I don't know how many dunks he had tonight, but it's got to be something stupid for that stat to be real.
And any machine that is well oiled and maintained properly is a beautiful thing to see. And in my opinion, that three right there: Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Westbrook. Yeah.
Who's their center? Is it still Ivica Zubac, or is it's Zubac, right?
Yeah, Zubac.
Yeah.
I mean, Ty Lue's a great coach, so.
Yeah. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention. I think Jamal Murray's about to take another step.
I watched that game the other night, bro. Somebody's got to do something about these Nuggets, man. These motherfuckers don't miss. They don't miss.
Mm-hmm.
If they're taking a shot, every time they shot, I was like, that's fucking wet. And it went in. And I was like, no shot. Whether it was Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon. If Aaron Gordon was shooting the ball, I'm like, cash. Reggie Jackson.
He's an Aaron Gordon's an underrated player. Everybody thinks he just dunks. He's very underrated.
Who was shooting that damn ball, bruh? Bruce Brown shooting that. Christian Brown, white guy. Anytime anybody did anything, I'm like, oh, that's insane. And it was going in, or they were making a big play on defense, or. I mean, Christian Brown literally stuffed LeBron. He's pinned him. Granted, he fouled the hell out of him. Okay, LeBron was getting fouled every play, but I'm not going to go into that. He was getting fouled like a mug though. But and they called it once. He shot 2 free throws in that game, by the way. If LeBron doesn't shoot at least 6, 8, 10 free throws a game, the referees obviously didn't do something right. But whatever. That's just me. That's just me. Fanboying again. Okay. So we have the World Series coming up. I don't know. When does that start? Next couple of days, I think, right? I think it's this weekend, I think, or Friday or Saturday or something. I think it starts. Which going into it, you'd think it'd be, if you saw the last 4 teams remaining, it's probably going to be Phillies, Astros. And the exact opposite of that happened. Got a Diamondbacks Rangers World Series, which, I mean, if I'm being crystal with you guys, I can name you one player from either team, or one player from each team, and that's it. So, and now with the Phillies or the Astros, I could name you basically the whole team. So I don't know, the ins and outs of either one of these teams. I think it's always cool when you see a matchup like this where, a lot of times you always just go and pick favorites, like we just did with the finals. Imagine the finals ends up being, Clippers and I don't know, Knicks or somebody like that. Something just off the wall that you'd never expect. Teams you'd expect to probably make the playoffs, but never actually do anything. That's basically what this World Series is. So I guess it's refreshing, but at the same point, I don't know. It's probably a refreshing thing, but I like to root for greatness, I guess. I mean, but a lot of people like to root for underdogs. That's not me. Every once in a while I would, but what do you guys think about this World Series?
I like it because, as you said, it's a matchup nobody expected. I've noticed ever since the sign stealing fiasco that happened a few years back with Houston.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Michigan. I'm like, shut your damn mouth, Joe.
No, I'm not talking about that. Down, boy.
Okay.
But no, ever since the Astros got busted for that a few years ago, they have become probably the most hated team in the league. And that title used to belong to the Yankees. And that's saying something.
I think a lot of people also don't like the Phillies either because, like, they'll talk shit. And, you don't really think about baseball as being a sport where you get up there and you talk shit. The Phillies don't care. They will talk shit all day.
That's Philadelphia in general, though.
Well, to be fair, but,
Philadelphia, I mean, and I'm not knocking the city by any stretch of the imagination, but the city of Philadelphia has some of the most passionate and also some of the most savage fans in America.
We saw it when, what was it? I think Russell was still on the Thunder, right? And they were playing the 76ers. And that fan, that fan hit him with a double birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, so out of those last 4 teams, I probably was rooting for the Phillies, but that's just, I know the most players on that team. I really like Bryce Harper, and I don't know. I just like the teams that will just talk shit and like don't care. That's why I like the Grizzlies. Well, I like the Grizzlies for other reasons too, but the Grizzlies are a team who's going to talk shit, and most of the time they're probably going to back it up. That's why I like teams like the 04 Pistons and stuff like that, where they're going to talk shit and they're going to get into you. But when sometimes if you do it and it's too much, that's when it, like when Draymond does it or like Patrick Beverley, I'm like, okay, shut up. Like it's too much. Baseball's different anyway. And I was going to pick the Phillies. Now I don't know who the hell is going to win, because if I had to make just a instinctual pick, I'd go Rangers, but that's just because I know more players who play for the Rangers. So I think the Rangers probably have better pitching. I've watched a couple. Working at Kroger really opens your eyes, because sometimes I have to wait like an hour, hour and a half, sometimes even 2 hours for someone just to show up for me to give me anything to do. Sometimes, and the other day I found myself turning on baseball. Okay, and I watched a little bit of the Rangers Astros, just because I was watching the game for my boy Justin Verlander. He was pitching, but
I'll say this: I'm disappointed in the combo because like the Cubs should have been in the playoffs, but we just collapsed, and it just and the Diamondbacks. It was the Diamondbacks and the Marlins that caught up to us and everything, and it's just so depressing. But I'm just gonna say this right now: Diamondbacks just won't die. I've seen this episode before. There are certain teams that it's just like, but the thing is, the Rangers have the same thing, because like in Game 5, most teams would have crumbled after that. Then they just blitzed the Astros back-to-back games, just blitzed them. But this Diamondbacks team, you just don't understand why they're winning, but they just win. It almost feels like destiny. It's like the Rangers have the more names that you recognize, but the Diamondbacks are just that 04 Pistons team. They just won't die. Should have been us.
How many times have I said, at work, at Kroger with you?
Hold on, say that again. I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. What do you say, Joe?
Like you cut it out.
Shut up. Anyway, no, I was saying, am I good now?
Yes.
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, cool. How many times have I said at work that it's just as much about intangibles as it is about pure talent?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
I
with
feel like
Arizona,
baseball's a big for that too.
Exactly. And with Arizona, I mean, you can never really count them out.
I mean, you guys ever seen the movie Moneyball? Great movie. If you find people who do things the right way, they pitch strikes, they get hits, they get on base, you're going to win. You're going to win games eventually. And, the Phillies, the thing about the Phillies was you almost were guaranteed a couple home runs a game. And, obviously that is a good thing. Home runs are, easiest way to score in baseball. I mean, hit it, boom, instantly you score, and whoever else is on base, you score. But, it's like scoring a touchdown in football. It's like the easiest way to win. Oh, you hit a whole lot of home runs. That'll do it.
But most of the time it's about small ball.
Most of the time it's,
Yeah.
But if you just hit a solo home run, you know what I mean? It's only one run at the end of the day. Yeah. Whereas if you have 2 or 3 guys on base, then instantly you're double or tripling that because they got on base, whether that's getting walked or just getting a single little blooper up the middle or something, like
rallies kill teams. Rallies. Because especially like you score a run and then all of a sudden, like the pitcher just looks around, and the person who just got in the run is standing on a base looking at you,
Yeah.
just to remind you that, oh yeah, you gave up this hit, and you know what? If you mess up, I'm gonna score now.
It's also those guys too who can like get on base, and some of those speedsters who can like steal a base. You're like, okay, well, now he went from first base, probably not in scoring position, to now he's on second, to where even if this guy hits a single, he could even come around and score at home. So, and it's also about doing your homework, I think, too. Like if you're up on base, the pitcher knows what pitches to throw, but then also the defense knows, well, he usually hits it to left field or down the third base line or something like that. I'm not saying you run a full shift, but if you're expecting the ball to go there, you're already a step ahead. So instead of giving up a double when it goes out into left field, then you can make sure you're there to make the play, and you only give up a single realistically. And that's sometimes that's all you need, because it takes one base running error or one little error of any type, and then instantly boom, double play. Or if they're or if he's on first, it's a whole lot easier to get a double play than if he's on second. It comes down to little things like that I think the Diamondbacks and Rangers probably excel at more, the little things like that, than just hitting home runs and pitching 16, 17, 18 strikeouts a game. Those things obviously help, but
I don't think this is going to be a series where you're going to have a home run derby or a no hitter. No, I think this is going to come down to, as I said earlier, small ball and just basic mechanics of baseball. And I think we're in for a clip.
This is going to be a classic series.
Yeah, I think all the games will be pretty close, though, because if you see the way that they both play very similar to each other, really, and it's just going to come down to who can play that better and who has the best players, which is why I picked the Rangers, because if you look at the pitching for the Rangers have some pretty good pitchers. When I say pretty good, it's pitchers that I've heard of. They're pretty good.
I think it'll come down to the skippers. It'll come down to management.
And to be honest, I couldn't tell you who the managers are, but
no, I'm saying it'll come
Bruce
down
Bochy.
Who can manage their lineup better? Who can adjust?
Yeah, Bruce Bochy. This is the third team he's taken to the World Series.
Now, the good thing, too, with both these teams, they're not too far away from each other. Texas to Arizona, I mean, the climates are relatively similar. Arizona's probably a little bit warmer, but
they play inside.
Oh, is it indoors in Arizona? I didn't know that.
Both of them.
They're both domes? Man, I've been really missing
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is how much we talk about baseball.
Listen, I did not know they played inside. I thought there was only like 2 or 3 teams in the MLB who played inside. I knew Tampa played inside.
Yeah, Texas, that's the reason why they moved into that new facility, because remember, this is the place where they played the COVID World Series.
Oh, okay. I remember the COVID World Series. I remember that. Really, okay, listen. I only care about baseball for like the last couple series of the season, all right? So when it comes down to the ALCS and the World Series, that's when I'm like, oh, baseball's cool. One, season's way too damn long, okay? Way too damn long. I'm not paying attention to 120 whatever games. All right, it's too damn much. 160. Okay, see, I was even way off with that. Listen, okay. Listen. 2, my team that I like is not relevant, hasn't been for a decent bit. Okay. Tigers have not been good in a minute. And we've had some good players, but, haven't been good. But then, and that just really does it for me. I don't know. And also, I've just been getting on my thing where I just, I try and watch every football and basketball. A lot of times they're on at the same time. And like, am I really going to watch baseball before I watch a football game? Probably not.
Yeah. The only reason why I had to mention that they're both inside, because like, you really want to play in the Texas heat and Arizona heat in the summer?
I guess not. Probably not. But I mean, it's an equalizer still too that they're inside, so that's good. We seem to have lost all of our crew, so it's just me, you, and Joe. But
no. Oh, okay. Yeah. We lost them with baseball. We
started talking about baseball. They're like, nah, I'm all right. We're talking about basketball. They're like, all right, I'm here. Start talking about baseball. They're like, I'm solid.
Yeah.
But we got 3 minutes left, gentlemen. But
perfect.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Felt good to be back doing this again. Took a little bit of a break. We've all been, real busy working, doing our own things. Jamal went on vacation, had some other stuff going on. I mean, I've had stuff. So, we've all just been real busy. We've been grinding out, doing our stuff, but we're back, and we're going to try and make it more regular. Next time, I promise we're going to talk about football. I know that's one of our leading things is football, but how's your guys' fantasy teams going? How's your guys' fantasy? You guys both fucking beat me, I think, so.
I don't even know how I beat. Man,
You don't know how you won. I don't know how I won.
You won on that last third down.
Joe's was insane. Joe's was crazy. Joe, okay, for all you guys who don't know, I believe Joe won by, what was it, 0.03 or something?
Yeah.
No, 0.3.
0.3 this man won by 3 yards. One of his players got 3 yards more than the other guy did. And that's
the last pass of the game, because it was like a third.
Jordan Addison, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it literally held me, because I was sitting there, I was just like, please convert this so CMC doesn't get the ball.
I was so pissed when they converted that, because CMC didn't get the ball back.
I was so happy.
and then Brock threw like one of the worst interceptions I've seen all season. I
was so happy.
That was one of the worst throws I've ever seen. And then the guy, that stupid safety, started hitting the worm in the end zone. Everybody starts getting in a fist fight at midfield, but then there's like there's two safeties in the end zone just hitting the worm and pointing at each other, and like
I was doing skull and everything. I was like, skull. I was so happy.
Also, Jake Moody. Also,
Jamaal, you're the chairman of Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah. Jake Moody missed a 50-yard field goal or 40-yard field goal that would have gave me an extra 4 points as well. Made it even close the gap even more. It would have made you would have been sweating if Jake Moody made that.
Hold on. Do you know why my nickname is Montgomery Chairman, Joe?
Yeah, you showed me that incident.
Oh yeah, I showed you. Okay, all right, cool.
All right, folks, but it's been a good show.
But yeah,
fantasy's been going crazy.
Yeah,
and ladies and gentlemen out there in the audience, go ahead, Jamaal. I'm sorry.
Man, I tell you guys, we've given some people stick on this show for poor time management in football games. I tell you, today I'm one of those coaches. Poor time management. I look up, top left corner, it says less than a minute. I'm like, all right, bet. As soon as I said less than a minute, cut out right in the middle of what Jamaal was saying. It's really unfortunate.
I told you that Marshall County math skill.
Oh, okay. Just I did not see Joe's name until it popped up. I was like, okay. Last minute of this show, people are just going to get a nice little. People still sticking around gets a nice little kick for that. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
The shows, just watch all the way through the shows, you guys. Come on. By the way, if you guys enjoyed the show, make sure you like the show. Let us know what you think down in the comments as well. Also, subscribe. It's free. Who cares? Just do it.
And anything that you'd like for us to talk on the show, whether it's golf, tennis, hockey, just leave requests on the Facebook page or on the YouTube
or leave it in the comments. Yeah, leave it in the comments, or follow us on our Facebook page too. I mean, this thing gets big enough. I'm sure we're gonna have more socials, and this thing is gonna go up. So hit subscribe. We're gonna try and hit a milestone eventually. I'm gonna get with some of the guys, and we'll see what kind of milestone we're trying to hit by a certain time. But just let us know what you think, and I promise these are gonna come more regular from now on. I know we left you guys starved on some content.
Yes, and so will Zion Williamson.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, he will. But just more regular content here soon. We're going to start getting some of these pumped out. Probably we're going to try and at least get one once a week. Now, if there's a whole lot of stuff to talk about, and especially if we do shows like this that are shorter, I mean, this one's, over an hour, just barely. It's going to be, we can get these out a lot quicker than we would if it's like a 3-hour show, because some of those take a long time to render and edit and all that stuff. So, and talk, I mean, just to go through it anyways. But if there's anything in particular you guys want to hear us talk about, just let us know. And you guys have a great time. All right. See you guys next time.
That's it.
Peace out.